We've all heard new year, new me, but what if this year isn't about becoming someone new, but taking better care of who you already are? What if this year isn't about restriction or perfection, but instead is about balance, healing, and starting fresh inside and out? Hi, I'm Nurse Emily, and I'm a huge advocate for all things health and wellness. And today I'm going to share with you things that I've done to start my holistic health journey and what you can do to start yours in 2026. First off, what is holistic health? Holistic health is taking care of your entire being, mind, heart, body, and soul. So the question becomes, how do we do that? Let's break it down. Number 1, caring for your body. There are a few ways we can do this. To start, adequate rest and hydration. I'm not suggesting you do anything crazy. I'm just suggesting maybe try and go to bed a bit earlier, maybe 30 minutes, an hour earlier, whatever you can spare, and see how your body feels. When we rest, our hormones are regulated, everything in our body heals and rejuvenates. Adequate rest is so important. And I know that women require more sleep than men, and so men, you can get away with a lot more. But trust me when I say you still need it. As for hydration, now unless you are already a hydration freak like me, try this simple tip. Let's say you drink 1 or 2 of these a day. Add another one on throughout the day and see how you feel. It might be a little bit annoying at first at how much you have to pee, but hydration literally affects every single system in our bodies. And when we're not having enough water, that can be really detrimental to our health and how we're feeling every day. There's a reason I'm a hydration freak. Healthy movement without obsession. This is me simply suggesting that you get out there and do something that you enjoy to move your body. It doesn't need to be obsessive. It doesn't need to be regimented. It doesn't even need to be every day. You do what you can, but it needs to be something that you enjoy. There's been so many times in my life where I've been so committed to the gym. I've gotten up early. I've gone at 5 a.m. I looked good. I felt great, but I didn't really enjoy it. And so it really didn't stick. What I've found is when I do things that I actually enjoy, I'm more likely to do them long term. And at the same time, moving our bodies is so important to our health. It releases endorphins, serotonin, it helps us sleep better, it reduces risk of chronic disease, it decreases stress levels. The list goes on and on. And it doesn't need to be strenuous. Like I said, it doesn't need to be regimented. Just simply going for a walk 3 days a week can be largely beneficial to your health. Next, intuitive eating and balance in your diet. Now listen, I am a huge proponent for balance in your diet. And intuitive eating is not necessarily something that everyone struggles with, but for me, it's something that's helped me maintain a really healthy relationship with food. And it is still something that I want to focus a bit more on this year. I'll make a whole nother video about intuitive eating because it can kind of be a complex topic. So if you want to learn more about it, stay tuned. But for now, all I'm saying is you don't need to have a super restrictive diet. You don't need to go on any cleanses. You don't need to cut out foods that you love. I am advocating for balance. Number 2, caring for your heart. Caring for your heart can look like several things, including allowing yourself to feel and process emotions you otherwise want to shove aside or shove down. This takes us being intentional. This makes us stop running on autopilot of just shove it down, shove it aside, and really stop and pause and have to deal with those tough emotions. But what it's doing is honoring how you're feeling and addressing those things in the moment, which is a really healthy way of coping and dealing with things. Now, this is not something that just happens overnight. It takes intention. It takes work. But if this resonates with you, maybe make this one of your goals for the year, to honor your feelings and stop pushing them down and aside so often. You don't have to be perfect at it. All you got to do is try. Caring for your heart can also look like practicing self-compassion and forgiveness. This means not being so hard on yourself when you make a mistake. Guilty. Having compassion for yourself when you forget something or you don't do something perfectly. Now, not everyone struggles with this, and maybe you don't resonate with this as much. But if you do, make it an intention, make it a goal of yours for this year to practice more self-compassion, to practice more forgiveness. Give yourself some grace for goodness sakes. Next, a really important one, practicing self-love. What better way to care for your own heart than to love yourself? Again, this is not an easy thing to do, and I've already made a video on it, but I'm gonna make many more because this can be a really challenging subject. And although it can be challenging, it is so entirely important. Self-love can look like having self-affirmations for the day, just caring for yourself. Like I said, I made a whole video on it. Go check it out if you want to learn more. Number 3, caring for the mind. Self-love kind of bleeds in here, but there's other ways to care for your mind as well. And one of them is gratitude. Gratitude is huge. There are so many benefits to daily gratitude, and studies have shown it can even reduce depression. How you can practice this is insanely simple. Just choose a time of day, maybe when you get up or before you go to bed, and either write or pray 10 to 12 things that you are just incredibly grateful for. And maybe you're kind of grateful for it. A lot of the times, mine is, thank you so much for this warm bed or my warm blanket. It seems so simple, but having gratitude for little things has a huge impact on our overall view of our lives. It can take our lenses from looking cloudy and gray to having our whole world lit up because of how grateful we are for the little things in our lives. Another way you can care for your mind is maintaining proper boundaries. Now, a few things might have gone through your head of, oh, I know exactly what I need to set boundaries on, or, ooh, setting boundaries. Setting boundaries can be a scary term or concept, but it's so important. Sometimes if we don't set enough boundaries for ourselves, we can't show up for other people in the ways that we would otherwise if we had set appropriate boundaries to, let's say, rest and recharge all the way. Sometimes boundaries revolve around taking care of ourselves. Sometimes it revolves around maybe creating a bit of distance between you and something. Whatever that looks like for you, I would encourage you to ponder it and think about, what boundaries do I need to set this year? Do I need to set any boundaries? Why or why not? Lastly, caring for your mind can look like stress management. Stress management. That is so hard to do. There are so many little tips and tricks out there, but the reality is stress is all around us, unfortunately, and it's just part of life. It kind of is what keeps us going. I made a whole video on lowering cortisol levels, which helps reduce stress in your body, but that's just one piece of stress management, and I will be making more videos, but I don't think it's a bad goal to be less stressed this year. I think it's a great goal. I think it's hard, but I think it's worth going after. There have been times in my life where I've been so clouded by stress that my ability to manage anything else in my life goes way down. I'm sure you know exactly how stress affects you. Lastly, number 4, caring for your soul. Now this one is important. Our souls are literally who we are at our very core. So how the heck do we care for them? We can do this through several ways. Prayer, mindfulness, meditation, finding joys and fulfillment in our passions. For me, it looks like nurturing my relationship with God. These are just a few examples, but what I'm trying to say is holistic health is not just about focusing on one piece of the body. It's about focusing on all of them. And if we leave one out, you will notice a difference. So as we step into this new year, remember, holistic health isn't about doing everything perfectly. It isn't even about changing your habits overnight. It's about showing up for yourself a little more each day, caring for your heart, mind, body, and soul. If you want to explore these topics more in depth, subscribe and check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching.